and you'll be a light bulb! What?
If you would like to come and hang out, make sure you join one of my live streams, either on my other YouTube channel or my Twitch. Those links are down below. Also my Patreon, where I have more content on there that I don't post here.
When we were kids, her precious little Franny tried to undress me several times, okay? And if I hadn't stopped her, there probably wouldn't even be a wedding to go to.
And she tried to undress me, too.
I used to undress my cousin Glenn.
Today, I'm going to be reacting to Jim Carrey bloopers.
In the zombie apocalypse sketch on SNL, Jim Carrey plays a dad who refuses to believe his son, Pete Davidson, is a zombie. Jim was supposed to lightly tap Pete with a bat, but he improvised and turned it into a full-on beatdown. With every swing, Pete was doing everything he could to keep a straight face and not break character.
Now you go on and be the zombie that I know you can be.
Never even imagined Jim Carrey on SNL. Ever. But I haven't seen a lot of SNL, so maybe that's why. It's just weird imagining.
In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the makeup process was already a nightmare. Some characters spent over 8 hours a day in the chair, but that didn't stop Carrey. During one scene, he leaned in for a kiss and straight up ripped off a prop nose with his teeth. It was something only Jim could get away with, especially since the crew had to redo the entire mask from scratch.
That's actually so crazy that he did that. Like that it was emphasized too that only Jim Carrey could get away with this, because if you're sitting in a chair for 8 hours for makeup for anything and you see somebody bite off your makeup that you just worked on just for a laugh.
Well, that's because you have big jugs.
Liar Liar proved just how impossible it is to stay serious when you're in the same room as Carrey, and perhaps the funniest moment came when he was sitting next to co-star Jennifer Tilly, and out of nowhere picked up a metal pitcher, started talking to it, and then pretended to pee in it.
That's crazy.
In Bruce Almighty, right after Jim Carrey delivers serious news about a dead body, he shares a strangely sweet moment with the dog.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
But things get hilarious when he grabs a half-chewed cookie from the dog's mouth and starts eating it like it's gourmet.
Oh, are you eating that? Sorry.
He goes all in, turning a gross little moment into pure comedy that had the whole crew cracking up.
They have the cleanest mouth.
Very bold. I can only imagine a woman doing that and people just being grossed out. Or probably other men who aren't as famous as him. He really does get away with just so much. Haven't seen Liar Liar, and I haven't seen Bruce Almighty. Seen clips from Bruce Almighty, and it looks very funny. And I know I'm a Jim Carrey fan, but I'm trying to think of why. Exactly. Not because I don't like, I'm just thinking, wait, what movies? I feel like I kind of grew up to him, but a lot of movies I clearly haven't seen.
In The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, Jim Carrey plays a crazy street magician. In one scene, after everyone says what, Carrey improvised a line that was so funny, it made the whole cast break character.
What? One more what and you'll be a light bulb.
He actually
What
used
did
the
he
same
even
line
say?
years later to make Jeff Daniels crack up while filming Dumb and Dumber 2.
What? One more what and you'll be a light bulb! What?
Oh, I didn't get it. It's because I couldn't understand them. I was like, what about a light bulb? What?
In Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, Courtney Cox does her best to stay serious when Jim Carrey, pretending to be Larry, acts out a button hook pattern in super slow motion.
Let's see that in an instant replay.
She nearly cracks up when he takes it even further, doing an instant replay and bouncing off the doctor's shoulder. You can actually see her fighting back a smile, but somehow she holds it together just enough for the scene. The family reunion sketch on SNL had its biggest surprise when Jeff Daniels walked in as Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber, and it was enough to make Jim Carrey completely lose his smile.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I don't think so.
In a series of
Is that
unfortunate
a
events,
bit?
Jim Carrey strolls
Oh!
into the scene as a goofy old dude, singing about a time machine, and it only gets weirder from there.
Let's go back in a time machine. Time machine, time machine.
He makes a clock out of his arms, whips up bizarre sounds with his mouth that resemble a dying chicken, and even screeches like a raptor.
And he eats the hair.
And if
off
that
of
wasn't wild enough, he pretends to eat a co-star's head and even licks him on the ear. And well, that was pretty much the breaking point for everyone on set. All of this was pure unscripted improv from Carrey, and if you look closely, you can even see the camera shaking because the crew was laughing so hard.
Oh, finally. That's so good. Yes, I have seen that one. I remember the little dinosaur. Probably that one didn't make it in because like the crew's moving the camera and stuff. But I know a cut of him doing little dinosaur hands did make it in the movie. The dinosaur hands definitely made it into the movie, just maybe not that cut or that one.
In Bruce Almighty, there's a serious scene where Morgan Freeman, as
Oh.
God, gives his powers to Jim Carrey. But Jim forgot his line and just started dancing out of nowhere. It was so funny that even Morgan Freeman couldn't stay in character and burst out laughing.
It's the creator screwed up.
No laughing. No laughing on the set.
In The Cable Guy, while dining at medieval times, Chip asks Kevin for the skin of his chicken, then covers his face with it and says,
"Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again."
It was an unscripted moment by Jim Carrey that even made Matthew Broderick break character and laugh. Also, a fun fact, Hannibal Lecter never actually says that line in the movie.
Oh, Lord.
Not saying he's not funny, but there's probably a lot of jokes and a lot of things that are clearly really creative and witty of him, but because of references, and if you don't get what he's talking about or haven't seen those movies, it's kind of like, oh, it just seems very random and unhinged.
Oh, Lord.
While filming another scene with Matthew Broderick, Jim Carrey leaned in and did something that perfectly captured the Cable Guy's weird and awkward vibe.
Alrighty then.
In the family reunion sketch on SNL, a bunch of cast members did their best Jim Carrey impressions, showing off characters from all over his career. But Taron Killam totally stole the show when he nailed Jim's famous "Alrighty then" catchphrase.
Alrighty then.
Oh,
In Fun with Dick and Jane,
good.
there's a scene where Jim Carrey and his on-screen wife are robbing a guy, and Jim starts doing bizarre robot voices to throw him off, and it's already pretty hilarious. But what didn't make the final cut was Jim suddenly kissing the guy mid-scene, which completely broke him and sent everyone laughing.
Oh my God, my glasses are steaming. Look at me, I can't even see.
Completely forgot that movie. Don't even know what it's about, but I remember the funny voice and the like little arm movements. It's in there. It's way in the back of the mind.
It might seem like working with Jim Carrey is all laughs, and honestly it is, but just so you know, this next scene took over 15 takes because Jim kept cracking up, and everyone else lost it every single time.
See? He's nuts!
In another scene from Ace
What
Ventura,
from that
when Ace
movie?
slams his head into a chair after drinking from a fountain, you can actually spot the doctor standing with Courtney Cox laughing for a split second. In Dumb and Dumber during their car ride, Lloyd turns to Mental and excitedly asks,
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh no.
This moment was actually unscripted by Jim Carrey, and you can tell it caught the others off guard. Actor Mike Starr, who plays the hitman Mental, can be seen trying not to laugh, and Jeff Daniels even starts cracking up briefly before the camera quickly cuts to a close-up of Starr.
Oh, so he came up with the most annoying sound in the world. And not only did he do it like as the character, but it was also improv, so. And it also made it in. It seems like it's iconic. Everybody references it.
Very few people can joke around while Morgan Freeman is acting, and actually pull it off. But Jim Carrey, he managed to do it not just once, but twice.
Goodness, it's as if every other clip is from Bruce Almighty. Maybe you should watch that movie. But also really cool to think about Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey not only working together, but also him making him laugh through bloopers, because he's clearly such a non-serious person, comedian, very random, very loud, very out there. And Morgan Freeman seems almost the opposite. Really cool too, but very serious, even monotone. Maybe not monotone, just very serious. He seems like such a serious character. He seems to play serious characters, serious roles. So it's interesting, that dynamic.
In Fun with Dick and Jane, there was this scene where Jim Carrey had to toss a phone in the air, let it spin a bit, and then catch it. He totally messed up the first two tries, and his over-the-top expressions made it even funnier. In
She'll
Ace
let that
Ventura,
in.
the moment where Ace pulls the cellist's arm, making him play a wrong note, was something Jim Carrey made up on the spot, and it also made the final cut.
Are you insane?
Goodness, he's bold. That might be one of the best bloopers. Because everyone just carried on and she looked at him with actual shock, which fit the character, and then asked him, "Are you insane?" Which could have been in there if he wasn't supposed to walk by and do anything in the first place. So she even played it off and improv'd on it, and it just added to the characters. Him being whatever type of character he is in that movie, where he shouldn't have done that, and her being shocked by his behavior.
It was me!
In a courtroom scene from Liar Liar, Jim randomly folded a piece of paper and made a goose out of nowhere in just 5 seconds.
Goose.
I'd need hundreds of sheets and still end up with something way worse than his. Mr. Popper's Penguins is packed with laughs, thanks in large part to Jim Carrey's effortless charm and a cast of penguins who clearly had no idea they were in a movie. Carrey did it all, shaking their flippers like handshakes, pulling out his phone and offering it to one like they were old friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the perfect example of how Jim doesn't need a script, just a camera and something unpredictable to play off.
He worked with real penguins? How have I not heard of this movie? I like Jim Carrey and I love penguins. What? Oh, that's so cute.
In another scene from Bruce Almighty, Carrey tried to slide over a car hood, but he slipped and fell. It was so funny that Jennifer Aniston couldn't stop laughing.
Okay, that didn't quite work out.
In Anchorman 2, there was meant to be a dramatic showdown between rival news teams. Jim Carrey showed up looking all serious, trying to act tough, but the moment he started making threats, he kept forgetting his lines and ended up sounding more silly than scary.
Without, what the hell's my name?
Scott Riley.
Shit, Scott Riley. Without Ron, what's my name? My name is not Ron. And the incredibly polite Canadian fart.
Like that he says fart instead of, something else. Like, oh, freak. Or frick. He seems really cool. He seems like such a fun person to not only be in movies, but just to be on set with if you work with him. He seems all around very entertaining. Also, don't think that I've heard any stories about how he's a terrible person or he was such a diva or really awful to cast members or anything like that. So probably lots of fun to have worked on set with him. Yeah, this video was really enjoyable. I hope that you guys liked it. If you haven't already, make sure you check out all my links, including my live stream, where I stream on YouTube now, and Twitch. Go check them out. Yep. And my Patreon. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for watching.